Hi, so this is a video lesson on Waltz by Carulli, Op.121, number 1. And this is a lesson from my new ebook, Easy Pieces for Classical Guitar, from thisisclassicalguitar.com. So I'll play you the piece, and then I'll give you a little lesson on the piece. And if you want to get the sheet music, you can go to the site, and the sheet music comes with fingering and notation version, notation plus tab version, kind of everything you need, plus these online video lessons. Okay, so I'll give you a little lesson on the piece now. The first thing you want to do, as if you've been watching the other videos, is that you're going to want to play the melody on its own. This one is kind of a little harder to spot the melody, but it's essentially the upper notes on the upper texture of the arpeggio. So it's this note. So not all these other ones. Just those top notes with the A finger there, G, E, C, E, D, F, E, C, G, E, C, E, F, G, C. And then bar 9, it's the top line again, D, B, E, C. So not all these other notes at bar 9, not all the thumb and the eye fingers, they're all just accompaniment. They're just kind of fluff notes to fill in the harmony. They're really nice, but I mean the main thing is that top note, da da ba da ba da. Same thing in the minor section, although the minor section's definitely a little bit more just arpeggios. So it just kind of plays through arpeggios. Really just more of a little minor section chord progression that you're playing through. So that first thing you want to do is play through that melody a lot and get used to it. Make sure it comes out a lot more than the other notes. The thumb should come out a decent amount. The top melody notes, which are played with A and sometimes M, they should come out the most. And then the eye finger on the open G string, very little, just very soft. So that eye finger should just be very soft, almost inaudible. That way the melody can ring out. And that's the cool thing about the piece is that despite all the notes happening, you have to make it almost better than it looks on the page, right? You want to bring out that melody so it sounds like there's someone playing melody, there's someone playing bass, and then there's someone playing kind of just the easy accompaniment, G's and some harmony notes in the middle. So kind of like 3 layers, melody, bass, and the kind of chordal accompaniment at the end. Besides that, the fingering's pretty straightforward. It's essentially the I finger on the G string, the M finger on the 2nd string, and the A finger on the top string, and then you're just arpeggiating bass notes with the thumb. So P, I, A, P, I, M, I, A. So the thumb and the I finger just play the accompaniment, and then the M and the A finger play the top 2 strings where the melody is located. So you just want to stick to that fingering. Really uncomplicated right hand fingering in this piece. At bar 17, when it goes into the minor, it does switch though, and you'll use your thumb on, you should use your thumb on the bass note, and then just I am on the top 2 strings. Thumb, 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 thumb. So essentially the bass is always played with the thumb, even when it goes up to the 3rd string. In terms of the left hand fingering, not much to say. You have to use your 4th finger on the top because you're sustaining bass notes the whole time. So you want to keep an eye out for that. Here, same thing, 4th finger, so you can leave the bass notes down. At bar 27, there is this one fingering that's very common. It's 4th finger on the 3rd string B. So that's 4th finger on the 4th fret of the 3rd string, and your 3rd finger on D, which is, it's listed in the notation there. That sometimes gives people or students trouble because their hand position is sometimes too much like this, and so trying to reach the 4th finger out feels like a strain. But you got to get your hand position much more flush with the neck. That way the 4th and the 3rd finger can just grab those notes very easily. Because think about it, if you're holding A minor like this, going to this here, you're using free fingers that are available. So you'll be able to just pop those down really smoothly. If it's really tough, you could just like slide the 1st and 2nd finger up like that, but I'd recommend you give my fingering a good try. Besides that, just don't forget to go back to the beginning of the piece when it says DCL fine, and then play through until the fine. So I'll be making videos for all 15 pieces in the book, and I hope you enjoy them. Thanks very much.